All right, good afternoon. Today we're going to be talking about base-10 blocks and how they can help us with regrouping, specifically in subtraction. If you're not familiar with base-10 blocks, they come in a couple different things. So we have single units. Each unit is worth 1. And if we put 10 of them together, they exactly match one of the 10 blocks. So we're going to be working, as I said, with subtraction using these base-10 blocks to help model, because sometimes the concept of borrowing and regrouping can be a little bit challenging, and as we are reviewing some of the material from last year, I thought it would be helpful to have just kind of a refresher on base-10 blocks and how they can be used to help us. So I'm going to move these off to the side for now, and I'm going to start with a problem with a 2-digit number, and I'm going to be subtracting a single-digit number. Now, whether you write this vertically or horizontally, the process remains the same. And what I'm going to do is use my base-10 blocks to model. So I start with 20. So this is 10, and that's 10. And there's 20. Well, I can't break this apart in order to take 7 away because I need to regroup. So what I'm going to do is make an exchange. I'm going to line up 10 of my single unit blocks, and I want to use my 10 block as a gauge so I make sure that I have the correct number. And when they match the ends, I'm going to take the single block away, and so I'm left with now 10 single blocks. Now, I still have 20 in all, but now it makes it a lot easier for me to take 7 of the individual blocks away. So then I'll just take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away, and what I am left with will be the answer of 20 minus 7, which is 10, 11, 12, 13. So 20 minus 7 is 13. Next, we're going to try it with a little bit larger number. Here is a different problem. Now we have both numbers that are 2 digits. We're going to start with 46. So I'm going to start with my base-10 blocks, and I'll have 10, 20, 30, 40, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first thing, when I look at a subtraction problem, especially when there's 2 digits, I look at the right-hand column. So if there was an imaginary line between these are the ones. That is the ones place. And then over here is the tens place. And I'm sure most of you know this already, but I'm just saying this as a reminder. So the first thing I do when looking at a subtraction problem is I look at the ones place. And I ask myself, is this number, is it bigger or smaller than this one? Is it bigger or smaller than this number? If the answer is that this number is bigger, what I'm going to do is I'm going to think to myself, well, if that's bigger, I know that I am going to have to do a regroup. So in order to organize my thinking, if I know I'm going to regroup, I'm going to start off by taking one of my 10 bars and exchanging it for 10 single unit pieces. If anybody ever says that you're too old to play with blocks, just let them know that that's what math teachers do, and they're grown-ups. So I have a matching length here, so I'm going to complete my exchange by removing that. So now I will have my 10 singles that I just exchanged, in addition to the ones I already have there. So I'm going to check my work by lining up my 10 to make sure that when I start with my problem, I have the exact number that I began with. So my first number is 46, so I count 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. And now that I have done all of my regrouping, it's going to make it easier to remove the blocks. So when I subtract, I have my 28 that I'm going to subtract, so I can take out 1, 2 bars. Then I can take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 single units, and I am left with 10, 18. Another way that we've done it in the past is to show this on our paper. When we exchange our units, one of the things that we do is on our paper, if we don't have modeling blocks, is since I know I have to regroup here, and I've exchanged my single units, I now only have 1, 2, 3 10 bars. So I'm going to cross this out and put 3. And now I have 16 of the smaller blocks. So in my ones place, I'm going to cross that out and write 16. So now, and this is a more traditional way of seeing it, I have 3 10s and 16 ones, and then I need to take 2 10s and 8 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I am left with this 1 10 block here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 small ones. So I have 1 10 and 8 ones, and I check my work by adding upwards. I say 1 plus 2 is 3, and 8 plus 8 is 16. So there's a couple examples of how you can use base-10 blocks and how I like to divide subtraction problems into columns with the tens place, the ones place, and when we get farther along, even the 100s place. Please send me an email or contact me on Google Classroom if you have any more questions. Have a great rest of your week.